So our buddy Shorty Dude is in the friend zone. Oh boy, this is a tough situation, man. So he's been a friend. Yours is not so bad. I've seen it worse. But he's been a friend with a girl since middle school, up through high school. And now he's starting to have warm feelings towards her, like you didn't before. But he wants to take it to that next level. The problem is they're just too friendly. So I'm going to approach this from a broad perspective with regard to this idea of getting into the friend zone, because it's a bad place. You don't want to be in the friend zone. And the way you end up in the friend zone is by lacking the aggression associated with that which would take the relationship to that intimate level. That really is what you've wanted from the beginning. You weren't just friends, you just didn't have the aggressive or assertive capability to take action when it was necessary during the early stages of your relationship. And what that does is it sets you up in a very awkward place where now she no longer respects you because you didn't assert yourself when the opportunity presented itself. And this is the situation with all men and women. If you end up in the friend zone, she no longer respects you, and that's why you're a friend, because you never really manned up when it was time to man up. And there's always a window of opportunity where the woman opens up, and it is your job, it's your responsibility to dive in, to take action, to assert yourself in the direction that she's yielding towards for you. If you don't do that, you not only have lost that opportunity, but you've lost other opportunities because there's going to be a lack of respect for you. She's going to resent you, right? But she can tolerate you. And then, you end up shopping for shoes together and shit like that. So the first thing is to avoid the situation altogether. If you have warm feelings for a woman, and take this to the bank, this is very important. It is better that you overly assert yourself and become rejected and get rejected than be too soft and never assert when the time is right. There's a really good story of friends of mine who are now married, and in high school I remember they sat next to each other. One was a beautiful girl and kind of a geeky dude, but he had just this audacity about his attitude. They sat together in science class, and every day he would ask her out. He knew what he wanted, and he'd bug her, and she'd just be like, "Oh, leave me alone, leave me alone." He'd be like, "Hey, when are we gonna go out? Hey, when can I take you out?" Hey, he just asserted. Now it was a bit awkward for for her actually, but because he asserted himself like a man, because he knew what he wanted, and he was constantly, a little annoyingly, always pecking at her in many different ways, he was looked upon by her as a assertive man. Now, there's a difference between being assertive and being annoying, so, that's up for debate. But anyway, today they're married. This was like 10 years ago. And today they're married, and he's still the geekiest, weirdest looking dude, and she's as beautiful as all hell, but no other man asserted himself in the same way that he did for so long. And that's what afforded him the prize. So, you're better off getting rejected, and finally received than never pursuing to begin with. You see? So now that you're in the friend zone, you've got to regain the type of respect that's associated with being an assertive man. And the only way that's going to happen with this particular one is if she sees you asserting yourself with other women. Now, it could work that she sees you asserting yourself in a form of art or sport. She sees that you're fully focused, directed, willing to take action in a courageous fashion towards the development of your athletic ability, towards the development of a particular art or skill. If she sees you really moving forward in a male aggressive way towards an inanimate object or idea, that might help. But what will help 10 times more is if she sees you asserting yourself towards a woman. Because a number of things is going to happen. Number one, she's going to question herself. She's going to wonder, wait a second, I thought he was a friend zone kind of guy, and here he is asserting himself over these other women, and he didn't assert himself like that to me. Maybe I'm not beautiful enough. Maybe I'm not soft and female enough. Maybe I did the wrong thing. And she's going to grow jealous. She's going to want to find out why you didn't assert yourself. And right now, she's thinking you didn't assert yourself because you're a pussy. But when she sees you asserting yourself with other women, she's going to wonder, what happened? Why didn't he come to me like that? And she's going to be looking all, dazzled and beautiful when she approaches you, because she's going to, waiting, what about me? And she will respect the fact that you have the spine to do this, right? Right now she just doesn't think you have the spine, because you were offered the opportunity, because we always are, and you didn't assert. Either you were just too blind, you didn't know it was there, you're just kind of ignorant, or you had cold feet, spineless, right? You just didn't have the strength of character to dive in when it was afforded to you. So she's going to start questioning the way she thinks about you in that regard. She's going to be like, oh, you know what? Maybe he is. I'm seeing parts of him that I didn't recognize before, parts of character traits that I didn't recognize before. And she's going to be intrigued. So that's it. Really, the only way in my mind that I can see you getting out of the friend zone is to have her consciously make an effort for her to see you being really manly with other women. And if your intention is to be with her, then you do it a little while just to kind of regain the balance, and then you come back and you're like, hey, you know what? I messed up. Or just assert yourself and be like, it's a brand new situation, brand new opportunity. But you're not going to get it with her just like that. If you try to assert yourself at this point and you're a friend, it's going to be awkward and strange. It probably won't work. Good luck.